Hello Aquarius, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel. Especially if this reading resonates with you, it is totally free. It does not cost you anything. If there's something you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And wow, look at that, hitting the jackpot right away. First card out is the Wheel of Fortune. Things are changing big time for you. Things are going to grow and evolve and get bigger and better. This is Spirit saying, hey, it's your time. This is one time around the wheel where it's coming up aces for you, right? Let's put that into some context. Let's see where this jackpot maybe is coming from, what this good fortune is bringing with it, or how we're going to react to it. Interesting, got the Lover's card. We have a Four of Pentacles, makes sense. Two of Pentacles, sure. We have a Queen of Wands there. We've got the Sun card. The Sun's another card that does represent kind of financial success. It represents wealth, right? It represents this kind of feeling that, everything, every area of your life is just kind of as good as it's ever been, right? It's not any one particular thing. It's not just finances. I feel like it's everything, We have a Princess of Wands. We have a Princess of Pentacles. We've got a Queen of Swords and a Three of Wands. So there is something going on with a group of people. It feels like it's kind of a family thing. It might be a side issue. And my first thought, okay, now just bear with me. When you reach a level of success, it feels like there are other people that are going to come out of the woodwork to ask you for things. Okay? I feel like this Wheel of Fortune, it kind of a mixed blessing, right? I feel like this is you really succeeding. Something that you've committed to is really, really taking off beyond belief. Your life is changing. And I think that you're going to notice a lot of other people now are starting to reach out to you, people you haven't heard from in a while. Okay? So be on the lookout for that. That's part of the Sun energy too. Being able to see what people are really about. Okay? You're going to have a lot of clarity into other people's motivations. You're going to see their true colors. Okay? Usually our perception is refracted, right? We look through a prism and we see certain colors. So it's kind of like when we look at other people, and I think that maybe there's some siblings, maybe these are friends. I think we usually look at everybody and we kind of see what we want to see. If we really cherish people, we love people, we have our friends, our family, we tend to overlook some of their negative qualities, right? I mean, we all do that. I think that's how we all get along, right? But I think that this particular event in your life, this big jackpot win, let's say you win the lottery, suddenly everybody's going to be coming out of the woodwork. Everybody's going to want to be your best friend. And you're going to have to really open up your eyes and look at people. Okay? Not see just who you want to see or see who you thought they were, but really, what are they showing you? Okay? This is a card that is not excited to learn the truth, but you would rather know than not know. Okay? And I don't want that fact to detract from this really big success, but we do have a lot of the court cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 court cards, not to mention the Lover's card, which tells me that these are family members, okay? I think your life is going, I think literally from rags to riches. Okay. A Two of Pentacles. Something significant has happened. One day, nothing. Next day, boom. Major jackpot. Life is completely changed. Okay. And now you've got to deal with all of those problems that come with it, right? More money, more problems. Yeah. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. It's not necessarily money, but we'll get into that in a minute. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We're going to put Alien Simon Moore Ripley right there. We're not going to look at the card until the very end, of course. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this program you feel like you know what that card is, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments, all right? Let's do it together. Let's start exercising some of our intuition and our spiritual discernment, right? We can start now. It'll help us later on in life. We have our major arcana right here in the middle. And this is a big win, this big jackpot. This is your time, right? You've put in a lot of effort. You've done what you could to stabilize your life. I think you're somebody that you don't really like surprises. You know, you like to see a kind of a good like ratio, a 1-to-1 kind of ratio for your efforts. I do a certain amount of work, I get a certain amount back from that. It's kind of it's fair, it's balanced. We know what to expect. You know, I work 8 hours, and this is what my paycheck will be. We like to know. It likes. Our general way of doing things, you know, our persona, our personality likes to know what to expect. That's the Four of Pentacles, okay? But I think something's coming your way this cycle of readings this week. You know, I do readings twice a week here for every sign. But I think right now you're in the middle of this really kind of transcendent energy. And I don't know exactly what it is yet that you've done, but you've done something different lately. And you're getting this really huge payoff, this really big opportunity. Maybe you stepped outside of your comfort zone and maybe you took a risk on something. We do have a little bit of that over here now. Since we have the court cards, I have to go through my usual disclaimer. The presence of all of the court cards together tell me that it's more than one person around you. Okay? Each of the court cards individually say something about your energy. Or maybe about the energy of another person, but usually it's your energy. Okay? So when I talk about a big group of people, but then you hear me go into the Princess of Wands and say, you've been taking more risks lately, you know? This card can be both a part of the group, but it's also an aspect of your energy. Okay? And that's sometimes gets confusing with the court cards because the court cards are very complex because they are basically individuals, right? And so each one really has their own emphasis. It kind of has their own few cards that go into making up who they are and how they function, but they're each an individual. Okay, they're an individual aspect of yourself. Now, where to even begin? Well, I guess might as well talk about the Two of Pentacles from the beginning. Something's different. You've decided to change some aspect of your approach to life, your behavior, your method of doing things. I think it's kind of like we realize that doing the same thing over and over and over again was getting us the same results over and over and over again. And I think there was a moment where we realized that it doesn't have to be that way. Because that's how we've been doing things. It's been working. That's why we have this very strong foundation. You work 8 hours, you get 8 hours of a paycheck. And I think that you've been doing things in that very predictable and routine way, building up something. Right? Either, I don't know if it's something karmic or if you've literally been like putting money away, right? But in that, if it's routine, if it's on a cycle, if it's on a schedule, then we know how to predict it. And if we can predict it, we know how to plan. We know how to budget. We know how to say, okay, I've got $500. I'm going to put 100 of it away somewhere. Okay, because we know it's on a regular schedule, right? But something happened recently, and I think we got out of this idea that doing the same thing all the time is what's working, because it's keeping the machine running. But what if we were to step outside of our comfort zone? So I think you took a risk on something. You took a gamble somewhere, either with an opportunity or with an idea or with $1. I'm not a proponent of gambling by any means. I'm terrible at it. But maybe it's something like that. Maybe you took a risk and just said, you know what, I usually don't do this. I'm going to play the lottery this week, right? And maybe that's what it was. But it's something outside of your ordinary, routine. Yeah, something outside. We've changed something. We usually put our left shoe on first. Well, today we're going to do our right shoe first, right? And just see what kind of weird chain of events that sets off in the universe. It's something like that. It might not be exactly like, all right, I've got $1. Usually I buy lunch, but now I'm going to put it into a lottery ticket or something. It doesn't have to be exactly that literal. But you've started to change your routine. You're driving a different way home from work, right? Also, you've been dreaming of the white owl. And I think that's a common thing for you. I think in some past readings, you've had a white owl as well that comes to me. And I think it's coming to you as well. I think it has that message for you. I think it's kind of showing you the way to transcend. It's showing you that there's a difference between wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge is knowing that if I work 8 hours, I'll get 8 hours of a paycheck. That's knowledge. I know that. Right? I can predict that with relative certainty. Again, I don't believe that we can be 100% certain about anything. 99.9% sure, but not 100%, right? And you can't convince me differently. Knowledge is that kind of relative certainty that, I put in 8 hours, I get 8 hours back, in terms of a compensation. But wisdom is kind of understanding. Wisdom is how to take that knowledge and use it to transcend, use it to level up our circumstances. How can I use that knowledge to rise up a little bit, to push things a little bit further, right? To expand, to grow, to evolve. Right? Knowledge is not, we can all learn facts, right? I could go through the dictionary and try to memorize some words, but if we don't know how to use them, then what's the point? I can copy a sentence down on a sheet of paper. I can read what's over there and I can copy it down. But how do I mix those words up and create my own sentence, my own meaning, right? And so I think that's part of what's going on here with you. You're learning about this routine. You've got that down. That makes sense. And I think you've figured out a way to tweak little things here and there, like tying your right shoe and then your left shoe, right? Just something really simple. But it's a way to, and when we're talking about the energy and spiritual energy and the divine realm, it doesn't have to be a literal thing, right? So it's not the thing, well, I'm tying my right shoe. How does that have anything to do with like the money that I'm earning? Well, who knows, right? That could set off a chain of events that, that leads to, I don't know, whatever. It leads to you walking into the kind of the wrong office in the morning, and then while I'm here, I might as well ask for a raise, right? So we don't know how it all is going to be causally linked together, but I think it sets off something in the divine realm. It just upsets that flow, that rhythm, that routine, right? It makes our senses more alert. It brings us to a conscious awareness, and I think that it's really a solar consciousness. it makes us acutely aware of where we are, who we are, and what we're doing. It'll snap you out of your sleep, right? It will snatch us away from our slumber when we start mixing up our routines. When 1 and 1 suddenly don't make 2, but we get 3, or we get 11, we think, what? It makes us acutely with some kind of cognitive dissonance, but it's self-inflicted, right? Because we're switching up our routines. We're doing something out of the ordinary. And I think you've been playing around with that idea a little bit in your own life. Okay. And I think it really is bringing a lot of rewards. Now we're kind of back to where we were with the major arcana. Something is different, and it's bringing about a whole new cycle of growth and prosperity and abundance for you. I think the financial component is very strong here. We have the Four of Pentacles, we have the Princess of Pentacles, along with that Jupiter energy, a lot of blessings, a lot of prosperity. Things are really flourishing. You tweaked one little thing, suddenly your business is booming, right? There's the family element, a family component here. It could be a family business. But I think the Lover's energy is also a little bit of a shift here in the why, right? Why you're doing what you're doing. You're engaged in something that is your true self, right? That is your true love, right? You've felt the inspiration to work on something in a certain way, not for the money, not because you have to, not because you were asked to do it, but because you got hit in the heart with that arrow, and you're in love with this. You cannot wait to go and do this thing in the morning. You know, you found like that. You found that true love that you really want to unite with. Right? Following your bliss, following your passion, following your inspiration is really paying off. Really seriously paying off. That leads us to the Sun card again with this idea of feeling like you've discovered your true path in life. That you are the sun and you are on a particular orbit through the universe, and you've discovered what that is. And now it's kind of not, we're not wandering around. Now we have a really purposeful step, you know. But in the context of these court cards, all of this success that you're coming into in life, and I think it's success both through your own efforts and a little bit of luck, right? And a little bit of gambling, a little bit of risk taking here because of the Princess of Wands. Because of all this success, you've got to keep your eyes open to what's going on around you. Okay, there are other people in your life, it feels like family members, right? And it might be 1, it might be 2 or 3 or 4, that they're going to start asking things of you. Okay, they're going to start kind of wondering why you're not taking care of them more or something like that, right? I kind of feel as if they're going to expect you to stabilize their life. Does that make sense? I think you're finding yourself to be the most secure out of all of these other people around you. And I don't know, maybe it's just like one person, a sibling or cousin or something. I feel like there might be more than one though. And it's gonna be as if you're expected to stabilize their life. Okay, that's what Spirit's telling me, the stability, to stabilize their life. Okay. Up above everything is the Queen of Wands. This is your authority. This is where you have to be willing to stand up to your own soft heart, right? Stand up to your own kind of feeling of family obligation, the sentimentality, this love, this compassion, this pity almost. We want to help. I feel bad. I'm just going to give them the money. There's that part of you that has to kind of stand up and say, look, I can't, you know. I should point out that Spirit's not telling you what to do. I'm sure as heck not telling you what to do. If you want to help your family, help them, obviously, right? But I want you to do it with eyes wide open. I want you to see what people are really expecting of you, what people are even kind of demanding of you at times. And I want you to be able to make a decision not on that appeal to your compassion or pity. Please, I'm in a terrible position. Can you please help me? I'm suffering here. Right? And then we feel, of course, we feel that in our heart and we want to help. Right? I want you to at least do so intentionally, knowing full well everything that's going on. Okay? Now, what we don't see here are a lot of swords cards, because I think that the communication is kind of subtle. I think people aren't saying what they mean. Right? I think people are giving you a line. I think people are saying, like, please help me. My electricity is going to get shut off. I can't feed my family. Can you help me? Right? I want you to know, I want you to have the full awareness of what you're doing. Those words may or may not be true. Maybe their power is going to get shut off, maybe not. The Sun card in some ways isn't, this is again the difference between knowledge and wisdom, or knowledge and understanding. Knowledge would be, oh yeah, they showed me the power bill, I can see that it's going to get shut off if they don't pay it, so I'm going to go ahead and give them money. That makes sense. I know that I feel comfortable with that. It's good, very practical. But the transcendent point that Spirit, I think, is trying to show you is that it doesn't matter whether that is true or not, right? Wisdom is knowing that if it's not the power bill, it's going to be something else. And it's, in some ways, it's not even going to factor into your decision whether that's true or not. It might be true this time, maybe it'll be true next time, maybe it's all a bunch of hogwash, as they say. It doesn't matter. Your decision is your decision whether you want to help somebody or not, regardless of whatever kind of sad circumstances they're experiencing. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? You're not doing it because you're moved by their pity or by their suffering, right? Because that kind of shows almost a lack of fortitude. And this is a very difficult situation. It's difficult for me to talk about this in language that doesn't seem insensitive. Okay? Because if somebody knows that they can appeal to your compassion and your pity, then they will continue to do that. They found the weakness in your armor, and they always know how to get to you, to get what they want out of you, right? They know where to poke the piñata. Okay? But if you make your decisions regardless of what the feelings are, and that's not me talking. This is the Queen of Wands here, because there's water in here but fire on the outside. Okay? The fire says, I am making an intentional decision from my own will. I'm not being manipulated by anybody outside of me. It's almost like I'd rather know, through this enlightened consciousness, I'd rather know that you're lying to me, and then I choose to do it anyway, as an exercise of my own autonomy, my own self-control and power. Okay? I hope all of that is clear. I don't mean to seem insensitive. By all means, if people are suffering, we should help them, right? We should help them. But that's Queen of Wands there. I hope that makes a little bit of sense, yeah. Anyway, moving to the path of the serpent. Of course, we've got the Princess of Wands. You started doing something different, right? This was you kind of, this was you feeling a kind of an intuition and acting on it. Feeling an impulse, getting an idea, getting an inspiration, and doing it, trying something different. Not holding yourself back with, well, maybe I don't. No, you're just feeling, I'm going to do it. Trusting your gut, right? This is you trusting your gut. And I think that's why this Jupiter energy is here manifesting in your life now. And things are getting bigger, you're getting better, more and more successful, more and more abundance, more and more blessings flowing in. Because you're trusting yourself. Yeah. And we see that up here with the Three of Wands too. You're trusting yourself because you know in your heart, your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, that you're doing the right thing. You don't need to stop and check in with your mind. You don't need your intellect or your human personality to kind of authorize what you're doing. You're following your gut because you know that your gut can be trusted, right? And that, I think, that's a pretty rare thing. And it's because of, I think, this trust of ourselves that we're putting ourselves out on a limb, you know? And that's, well, kind of like the Two of Pentacles, putting ourselves out on that limb, trusting that things are going to work out. You're taking that big leap. I wonder if this is going to be the Fool card, this mystery card. The Princess of Pentacles, it's in the position of your environment. It's in the position of your relationship with the environment. This, I think, is some people around you are looking at you like a resource. They're looking at you as an ATM machine that they can draw things from. They look at it as kind of an unlimited supply, and all they got to do is go and poke the piñata, and out comes the candy. Okay? And I don't mean to be harsh. I'm trying to be blunt. But I'm also sensitive to the fact that these are people we care about. These are family members, you know? And it's just kind of it's a tough position, right? Usually I say it's a very good problem to have. In this case, I don't know. You're leveling up your life. You're achieving a success that I think no one in your family has achieved. I think you're the top dog of your family, right? I also feel like someone in your family recently had a brain thing, a stroke, right? And I don't know if you've been contributing to their care. I feel like you're helping to pay for their kind of long-term care, right? I feel like this happened, I'm hearing, many months ago. Yeah. And I don't know who it was. I feel like it was a female member of the family. Yeah. It may be even a maternal energy. I do have a K name, a K sound for their name. I think it might have been mom or grandma, and I wonder if you've kind of stepped up as almost like the head of the family in a way. And so now everybody else is kind of coming to you for help, for advice, for a bailout, for, you know, because you're kind of the head of the family, right? That's where we go to when we need something. So I wonder if that's a little bit of the role that you're kind of not intentionally taking on, but you're there and you kind of have to be intentional with it now, you know. Queen of Swords in this position. This is the position of kind of this is the difficulty. This is kind of what we don't want. And this is that higher perspective. This is seeing things above all of what we could maybe even call deception or emotional manipulation even by some of these other people, or this appeal to your pity and compassion. This is that higher perspective where we're taking off the rose-colored glasses and we're seeing people for who they really are. We're seeing people's true motivations. When you're this high in the sky, right? When you're this high up, you can see the path that somebody walked to get here, you know? You can see, like if you're on the roof of your house, you can see down kind of where your front door is, but then you can see the sidewalk and the street down the street, and you can see how they got here. You can see where they're coming from, right, is the message there. So it gives you this broader overview, and so I feel like people can't hide things from you anymore. People can't pull the wool over your eyes. You're not wearing those dark glasses anymore. You can see, right? And I think it's important for you to make these decisions, Queen of Wands, make decisions that are going to be the best for you and for your loved ones, but you have to stay committed to your purpose. And your purpose is to transcend your circumstances, to better your life, to improve the quality of life for yourself first and for your loved ones. But yourself first. It's like when you're on a plane, they tell you to put the oxygen on you first before you can help anybody else. If you're giving away all of your abundance, then you're going to eventually have no more abundance to give. Okay? So the Queen of Wands, this is really where it's at, because I feel like you're learning how to say no and yes based on your own choices and intention, your own will, and not on how these other people are making you feel. I feel so bad. I got to give them something. Okay? Let's look at the mystery card. This video is getting a little bit long here, and I don't want to take up all of your time. Let's see. I would like some swords. I mean, we don't really need an ace of swords, but it would be, I think, kind of appropriate in this situation. I want to see some more pentacles, though, because I want to see that you're accepting this abundance and you're learning how to hold on to it. Yeah. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see what we have. Seven of Cups. This is the appeal to those emotions, right? This is everything that my electric bill, can you help me? Yeah, of course. Oh, my dog needs medicine. Yeah, of course, here. You know, I'm using the financial stuff as the example. But this is those appeals to emotions, those things that try to hit you in the heart and pull you in the direction that they want you to go. We're using the financial business kind of stuff as the metaphor, but this could be anything. It's learning where to poke the piñata to get what they want out of it. And these are all those things that they're going to hit. They know they can hit you right here, and they're going to get what they want. And this is the card of illusion, right? This is the card of it may or may not be real. We have to transcend this. We have to transcend our susceptibility to that kind of, I don't like to even say emotional manipulation, but I mean, that's what it is, right? Appealing to your emotions. Getting you to feel something so that you act a certain way that benefits someone else. Doesn't mean you don't have to do it. I would rather you do it with full knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, fully informed. It doesn't matter. You're going to give them money. Give them the money anyway, yeah. But I want you to do so fully informed. Okay? And that's what Spirit wants. That's what this is about, I think. Yeah. We're going to do an extended reading. It's getting kind of late. If you want to watch the extended, click on the link up top, or there's a link down below. New readings for Aquarius every Thursday and Sunday at 6 a.m. Chicago time. This is a huge jackpot. This is a life-changing thing, and I want you to prepare for this, okay? Because it comes with a lot of unexpected side effects, right? But this is good for you. Just be ready for all the other things that come with it, okay? If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. Show some love and give this video a like, leave a comment, let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.